Welcome to Study Loop.
Problem 732. The potential energy of a pair of hydrogen atoms separated by a large distance x is given by U of x equal to negative c divided by x to the sixth, where c is a positive constant. What is the force that one atom exerts on the other, and is it attractive or repulsive? Okay, so we have this equation here, and what I'm going to do is, in order to find the force, I'm going to apply what we have for equation 716. Equation 716 is going to be telling us that we have a force that is somehow related to the potential energy, and the way that that is related is going to be the negative of the derivative of the potential energy in that one dimension. Okay, so since we know what U of x is, we can just plug that in. So we have f of x is going to be equal to negative d over dx. We have that multiplied by negative c, and then I'll write down x to the negative 6. So we have it over x to the 6, that is equivalent to x to the negative 6. Okay, so we have a constant negative c that can come out of the equation, and the negatives will cancel. So we have c d over dx, x to the negative 6. In order to take a derivative of something to some negative power, you just need to write down c times the power itself that it's currently at, and then you get x, and you need to subtract 1, so you get negative 7 here. So then in total, what we get is negative 6c x to the negative 7 as our force for the interaction between these two hydrogen atoms. Okay, so then the question is this force attractive or repulsive? So there's one or two ways that you could look at this. You could graph it. So we have the potential energy. So we have the potential energy when you plot that against x, you're going to have it look something like this. And you see that the force is going to be negative, so that it will tend to, if one particle is fixed at this axis and another particle is here, the force is going to cause it to seek a lower energy state. So that means it's going to push it this way. So it's negative, so it's going to push it that way. So that means that this is attractive. Okay, and one other thing that you could think about is if you ever learned about something called this, the Lennard-Jones potential. This is basically a very simple model in which this is one of those terms. So if you recognize that, you would recognize that this could be one of those terms. But otherwise, plotting this and checking to see what direction force would push the particles towards each other or against each other would be a good way of doing that.